Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode number 116. This is discussing episodes 37 to 46. The very first episode, 37, is the introduction to this character, and this character basically lays the groundwork. He's here just up to have the end game at episode 37. Now, this is the second time seeing us when you use a brand new villain. He's here toward the end of the run. He's only got 14 appearances. He's only got about 15 episodes. He appears in about 14 episodes before I had to get rid of him. Who is this? Biohunter Silva. Yep, that's him. Yes. Of course, they show him after. He does pop at the beginning of the first episode, where he shows up at the main villain base. Yes. Now, you might be curious, though. Like, what's this guy's backstory? Where the hell did he come from? They do explain that, don't worry. So, he sneaks in. He takes one of the mechas. Yes. He takes one and basically looks for... Now, what does he look for? Why is he the biohunter? Because he basically was created to hunt bioparticles. You see, Silva is a robot. Yes, he's a robot who kills anybody associated with the bio stuff. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it basically relates to bio. If it has anything to do with bioparticles, he kills it. Doesn't matter if it's a person or an object. He will destroy it. That is his job. He does have his own robot, which does not show up in these episodes. Well, in flashback it does. Present day, it's not going to show up just yet. Basically, when that thing shows up, that's when the thing is over with. So, and then of course, basically, you have Peebo, who's actually piloting a bio-robot. I think it's the first time he's actually done this since like the very first episode of the run. He's scanning to like, oh crap, not him, not him, run away, run away. Yep, he has to run away, and of course, the bio are like, why the heck is he running away for? And then he finally explains who Silver is. And they pretty much explain the true backstory of what caused destruction of the planet Bio. Simply put, basically, Peebo was an assistant experimental robot. But at least he knew stuff. He was part of the Bio Peace Union. And there was people who, in case you're wondering, was people who opposed them? Yes. The Anti-Bioparticle Alliance. They apparently didn't trust the bio stuff, and of course this thing did split the people, the population planet in two, and started a civil war, which ended up basically having basically. So apparently the anti-bioparticle alliance was so desperate to stop the bioparticles, they created Biohunter Silver and his robot Makiza. Makiza, I think is how you pronounce it. Yep. And here's the thing. He's here initially, like, fully in episode 37, 38. The rest of these episodes, it's like, maybe like 2 or 3 minutes. And that's it. Mm-hmm. Now I'm thinking, like, is an episode he misses these ones? No. Once he shows up, he does not stop appearing. So, basically, after Peebo basically explains about him, and of course, yeah, because of the fact he's, of course, when he meets up, and of course, Bio and Silva does know who Peebo is. Of course, Peebo explains to him in a later episode, like, hey, they're not from Bio. They're basically Earthlings who just happen to have bioparticles. I'm kind of responsible for this. Take out me. They have to do it. And he's like, bioparticles detected. He's like this the whole time. He could talk normally without saying the bioparticles detected stuff. It's just that one scene was kind of annoying. And the very next episode, like after his debut, it's like Daniel go, he could be a potential ally. Go get him. And they just try to trap him, but they catch Peebo. But they later get him, and they of course bring back to their base. Dr. Man offers to find his robot for him. He's like, that's a good gesture. Nah, I'm gonna basically do it on my own. Yep, so he breaks out of his chains and escapes. You see, Biohunter Silver is the first person associated with New Engineer Gear, the New Empire Gear, who actually went to their base. And this would be the last time the base, basically, where you have a non-entity associated with the main villains go to the base. Don't worry, we'll get to that. And by the way, how they're drawn to catch him is they have their new mecha of the episode pose as a robot. And then eventually, of course, well, after they catch him, and then afterwards it's like, oh, he shows up for a few minutes, just fights on screen, and he's gone. Yep. Like, it was interesting to start. I guess they didn't want to overexpose him, per se. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, and of course, Silver is in episode 39, mostly. How about Chopper Mason? 40 is simply put, basically, it's a focus episode on, I think it's Blue 3, I think it is, where he's like, he wants to press a kid, basically, who's a big fan of his, by taking out the Bio Turbo, basically their Jeep, which it seems like all the seasons got Jeeps. At least this one actually appears a lot more to, let's say, the Live Man Jeep, which that didn't appear very much. Unlike the other ones I've seen, generally these Jeeps do appear like almost every episode. This, of course, that one didn't really. I think it was like a live Cougar, I think it was. So, basically, like, he's out driving and he just runs randomly into Monster and Jew, who somehow decide to run away, and of course they steal it and they wreck stuff. And of course the Biomen do get it back. It's a weird episode, this one is. But that's 40 for you. 41 is a focus episode on the girls, where apparently the plan for Gear is to put everybody to sleep. So unleashes Melody caused by Mentor, the post as a woman. Thanks to Hikaru going to Dream World, they figure out what this thing is, and they find out his weakness. Yep. That was a pretty good episode, that one was. Go risk your life. Yeah, this is basically a nature episode, per se. 43 and 44, a two-parter. Yes, a two-parter. They also introduced a professor, Professor Shibata. Yeah, but here's the thing. After this two-parter, you would not see him again. He would actually return. It wouldn't take very long. It would take 3 episodes just after this two-parter wrapped up, with episode 44. Basically, it's all revolving around this teenage girl who actually is a mecha clone. It's a reprogrammed mecha clone with a conscious circuit. And this robot is to be used to regenerate a robot. A Satan robot. Mind you, that's what they call the damn thing. I'm like, okay. So, oh, by the way, Dr. Man's son reappears. First time in quite some time he's been seen. Like, yeah, it seems like, wow, it's been like a long time since he was seen in the series. Oh, yeah, the professor knows he's the son of Dr. Man, and he's got no problem at all. And who the heck this professor is? Well, then I'll explain to you later who the heck this is, what this deal is. And apparently, he didn't know who the Bioman even were. Looking up the son of Dr. Man knew the heck, basically, who these people were. And he was a great help in this episode. He was a really good supporting character in this two-parter. Though, Mika, that's actually the Mecha clone was reprogrammed. Really cool character. And this is a really good two-parter. Shame it gets kind of silly after this one. Oh yeah, definitely. After this really good two-parter, that answers the plot of the show. It's like, oh, let's have basically an episode where June gets attacked by Silva and the gear at the same time, and later on, Septa be transformed to her bomb via her hairband. I'm like, okay, interesting. 46. This is basically the last episode before the end game. This was a pure fun of an episode. It's like, okay, we had these wild plants that basically, we had this gross stuff created by Gear to grow up stuff crazy. And they basically they make this formula in a town full of traps. So it's like, when they find out, oh crap, that Green basically find where the place is, the stowing away the back of a van and stealing the stuff, and then basically having like and have the Rangers do disguises. First, you have, I think it's Blue disguised up as a driver of a 4-wheeler, and then here's one for you. You have Red One disguise himself as an old lady. And then Kara is like, oh yeah, we gotta arrest, they gotta call the police. And then here comes Pink Fine, just slaps on these gigantic handcuffs. These pink handcuffs. It's so funny. And then they head off to see Yellow 4, who's dressed up like a gunslinger. It's so funny. And then she runs away, and then, of course, then we have, it's quarter. And then these 4 random football players. Yes, football players show up. It's so funny. And they have her transfer the football player. And we have a bunch of football puns in here. It's so funny. Yeah, it's by far a good comedy episode. Eventually, the farm was destroyed by pure accident by Juno. Well, actually, basically, they had destroyed it. And then they battle the mech of the episode, which is simply put a football player robot. I'm like, seriously? It's by far one of the most hilarious ones I have ever seen. Interesting. An actor from GoBus was actually born this 8 episode aired. Yeah, it's a guy who plays the character. It's the guy who plays the Blue Buster, who had a Sentai counterpart. His Power Rangers counterpart, if I remember from Linkar's review of the episode, his review of Beast Morphers, his counterpart was the son of the mayor of the town. That they were actually no, it was not son of the mayor. He was actually the person in charge of the program. Mm-hmm. Which, okay, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, by the way, it's called her. The first name is Revi Shaw, which is, the son of the head of the program. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to finish up watching this particular run. Definitely. As this one, I have 5 more episodes to go. And those 5 episodes are the end game. I'll discuss those in the very next episode of this one. Next one's going to be a Comic Corner. Yes, a Comic Corner. And I'm discussing 2 trades I got from Comic Con. Okay? Next video. Bye.